You guys want me to share
Welcome to St. Augustine this evening, children. And I mean those in the studio, not my adults that are at home today.
But he doesn't know when to stop the joke.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1 mean be quiet in the studio?
He doesn't know when to stop the joke.
No, he doesn't. Oh my gosh. You kids behave yourself in the back seat. This is St. Augustine this evening, the Mike Davis Show. It is August the 15th. Very excited to have you guys here. It has been an amazing week. We've had 2 good interviews. Amanda and I had a decompression show yesterday.
Yeah.
Oh, it felt so good not to have the pressure. And tonight we've got all kinds of fun stuff. And then we have trivia with the Bollox Boys, both as they warm up for Bollox. Is this kind of like pre-gaming for Bollox for you guys, Blake?
Yeah,
Slightly.
100%.
Slightly, yeah.
Yeah.
Is this more fun than Bollox?
No. less whiskey is involved on your show, Mike.
Lenny says it's more fun.
Lenny, talk.
He's still trying to figure out how to share the show.
I can multitask. I just can't figure out Facebook. And that makes me happy.
He can multitask. He just can't do 2 things at once.
Oh, gosh. Hey, how's the sun? Do I still have the same suntan I had yesterday? Or am I looking better today?
I don't know. I haven't checked that camera yet.
Okay.
Oh, look, we look normal.
All right, we look normal. Pete, thank
Thanks,
you
Pete.
for fixing that. Love you, Pete Melfi.
He's in the comments.
904
Hi, Pete.
now, King. You guys are awesome. Love you
He's
guys.
an okay boss.
Yeah.
I love Pete. I think he's the best boss.
You got to
in the
work on your
world.
sucking up.
Yes. Yeah, you're not there yet. Blake. You're just not there yet.
Guess who's low man on the totem pole? That means you suck up the most.
That's right. That's right. You carry suitcases. You do everything you got to do, buddy. Rookie.
You're still on the rookie team.
All right, let's make some money, and then let's have just an amazing show getting us ready to start, because it is weekend eve.
It is.
It's weekend
It's
eve
your
here.
weekend.
It's
It's
my
weekend for
weekend
us.
because we don't do Friday shows. We love our Monday through Thursday, but we love
We
Friday.
got
night.
Lenny.
All right, Solar Stick.
I think that was easy. I'm exhausted. I need a nap.
Established in 2006, Solar Stick is a
Lots of guys.
local portable power company proudly committed to American manufacturing, constant innovation, and creating jobs right here in St. Augustine, Florida. Solar Stick's focus on providing solutions for self-sufficiency helps users all over the world complete missions and save lives. Solar Stick, changing lives, saving lives, and reviving American manufacturing right here in the nation's oldest capital.
Absolutely.
I have a surprise for Barbara Jean when I come back to my camera.
Yes, you do.
I do.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes, you do.
Go.
All right. Powell Heating and Air Conditioning, dedicated to customer service, and that has been evident in everything that they do for the 39 years they have been a locally owned business. From the moment they answer your call until the time they leave your home, they are working to make you comfortable and confident about the care and service you receive from Powell. With their fleet of 10 plus trucks, a 15,000 square foot warehouse stocked with parts and equipment, they are ready to serve you around the clock. They are servicing all heating and air conditioning brands, and their emergency service is always open 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, including nights, weekends, and holidays. A to Z Roofing and Waterproofing. They offer free estimates and have been serving St. Johns County for over 20 years in the construction industry. A to Z offers painted metal roofs for saltwater area homes with warranties for up to 25 years. They offer shingle roofs with warranties for up to 50 years. They also work in tile roofing, cedar, shake shingles, designer roofing, and flat roof coverings. Recent job photos with material descriptions can be seen at A to Z Roofing and Waterproofing.com.
And Moultrie Creek Diner, or the Anastasia Diner. These neighborhood diners are more than just a place to eat. They are where hospitality blooms and friends gather. Bring your own friends or make new ones. The coffee is always hot, the smiles are genuine, and the food tastes like home. Every meal is a chance to make memories, share stories, and create bonds that last a lifetime. It's not just about the food on the plate, but the community that comes together at the table. Come see us at Moultrie Creek Diner or Anastasia Diner. Tell them Andy sent you, and Pete will pick up the bill. Just kidding, Pete. Just kidding.
Breakfast
Come
tomorrow?
on.
Yeah. Meet you guys at the diner. They open at 6.
That is a fine shirt.
Yes.
That is a quality shirt you have on.
I got asked to wear purple yesterday
Okay.
from one of our favorite viewers who's on all the time, and I am not above or below pandering.
So it's National Recovery Month.
It
is the shirt.
Well,
No,
is that this
on the
month?
shirt.
No, that was like 2 months ago, but it was a shirt
but
upstairs.
it's what the shirt is.
Yes,
so
it is. National Recovery Month shirt. So,
recovery of what?
it's from Epic.
Oh, okay.
So it's Recovery
Drug-
Month.
drug
Drug
recovery,
recovery.
yeah,
Yes.
okay.
So
Cool.
yes. So, Barbara Jean was actually going to go buy me a purple shirt. And I said, Barbara Jean, save your money. I'm sure there's a purple shirt somewhere upstairs.
It's just not in your
The
rotation.
paraphernalia.
Yeah.
It's not in my normal rotation. Barbara Jean, this may be the last time you see this for a little while. I tell you what, Barbara Jean, every time the Vikings win, I'll think about wearing it on Monday.
Come on.
Blake, take off your sunglasses. You look like you had a furry tongue there.
Purple is so royal and papal.
Yes.
Who had the best tongue shave of all time in a movie?
Best
Oh, come
shave?
on.
It's got to be Jim Carrey.
No.
It was when he did the imitation of the Crying Game.
Yeah.
And he shaved his tongue?
When Finkel was a man.
No,
Finkel
no,
is
no.
Einhorn. Einhorn is Finkel.
The best one was Steve Martin. Dead men don't wear plaid.
Huh? Okay.
He shaved his. That was a great time. It was awesome.
That's for the older generation.
See, I know both scenes,
Yes.
but I'm still leaning towards the Jim Carrey because he's imitating another movie in which you had to see to get the joke.
I think he. Yeah. Yes.
So, did you see the Crying Game?
No.
Oh, okay. Then you missed that whole joke.
I understood the joke
Okay.
because those jokes came out, and I was like, okay. Now I don't need to see the movie because I get the movie.
You understand
Because
what-
I understood the
Yeah.
joke, so it's like, well, it's not going to be a surprise to
Finkel
me
is
at the end.
Einhorn. Einhorn.
Yes.
Einhorn
Not going to
is
be a
Finkel.
surprise to me
And
at
my
the
word
end.
origin on Bollox tonight is spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert.
Yes.
We have
Yeah.
some spoiler alerts today. We have all
All right,
kinds of
I
spoiler
should
alerts.
not have put Lenny over there. I just realized as he started talking to you, he got further away.
My voice carries.
No, it does not.
Troy, you're
This
just,
is much more
just give
different
him a hug
than
the
over
entire
here.
time he's talking.
I got him. I'll bring him in. I'm not Pete. I'm not afraid to hug.
Oh, man. No.
Here, Lenny, Lenny, you have two hands. Control the microphone if you want to talk.
No, we
Have
got
you
him.
met your father?
We got him. We got him. Oh, he
Right.
he can't control his microphone.
I
This
used to speak
public
in rooms without microphones.
I thought we were worried about him controlling his hands. That was just me.
I don't know what to do with me.
We're going back there already.
It's Thursday for me.
if one of them says that's not a pillow, we know we're in trouble.
It's not a pillow.
Where's your hands? Keep your hands on the table, Lynn.
Locked and loaded.
Yeah.
Planes, trains, and automobiles
Not that
reference,
there's
folks.
anything-
Planes, trains, and
Fantastic.
automobiles.
Not that there's
yes.
anything wrong with that.
No.
Not that there's anything wrong with that. Deep pulls today.
All right,
Deep pulls with the comedy references.
this is going to turn around and cause Troy to make a comment.
All right. I
Appar-
never do.
Apparently, there's a meeting with the city of St. Augustine at the St. Augustine tennis courts at the Lighthouse. It is Tuesday at 8:30 a.m. I got a note from someone who says, please let anyone know who likes tennis and wants to see the courts renovated. I know there's 2 courts there that belong to the city and 2 courts there that belong to the county. And I know this because I had a friend who ran Parks and Recreation into the ground. Who was the guy that was after you?
You don't.
Who
First
was the
off,
guy that was after you?
that's a lie. Because you don't have any friends.
That is true. That is 100% true. Who was the guy that ran Parks and Rec after you?
Oh, Samuel T. Blevins.
No, the guy after you. After you.
Oh, the Fresh Prince.
The Fresh Prince ran it in the
The
ground.
Fresh Prince ran
Yes,
it
yes.
in the. Yeah, I'm not blaming the Fresh Prince.
No, I'm not either.
Yeah.
I'm just joking.
And
I don't even know who he is.
yeah, so no, that's a beautiful park. I mean,
It's a
the
great
trees
park.
are amazing over there. It's just an absolute beautiful park. But the problem with those tennis courts is because there's so many beautiful trees. The leaves fall on it, and then the leaves set up compost, and it breaks down the courts quicker. So it's a court that's always going to have maintenance issues.
Yeah.
So,
It's the ones closest to the water.
Yeah,
The other 2 are in pretty good shape.
yeah. No, and that's the one with the good climbing trees
Yes.
around it.
I
there's
got
a-
engaged in that park.
Did you?
I did.
Yeah, good memories there.
I was proposed to. I was proposed to on the swings.
Yeah. No, Michael used to call and say, "Hey, the lights aren't on." I was like, "Here's how you break in."
And those swings, by the way, are haunted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
The swings. are?
evidently,
Yeah.
evidently
There's a
there were
ghost that
lots
lives
of
on and
ghosts
moves
at
them
my
back and forth.
wedding. I
No,
don't know.
that's where the girls died in the car. They do you know that?
Yeah,
the
the-
story?
See, I knew this would elicit a story from your father. Okay,
I'll
go ahead.
actually let the ghost
he was
man
responsible.
tell the story.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay, but if there was 2 girls that were playing in like the little coal cars because that was the original inlet that came in.
Yes.
That's why the lighthouse is where it is, and the car rolled down into the water and flipped upside down and trapped the girls,
Yeah.
and that's how the 2 girls, and that's the ghost that are surrounding the lighthouse.
Thank
The
you
two-
for that
two
very uplifting story.
No,
And
but
at night
it's
with
part
no
of the
wind,
story.
Yeah.
The swings will move by themselves from children playing on them who you can't see.
Oh, you can't?
Oh, I can. I'm a trained professional. I know what I'm looking for. So don't try this at all.
Troy's got 1 foot across that door.
Yeah.
Take a look at the beard.
My liver's been dead for years.
That's right. That's right. All right, it is concerts in the plaza tonight if you want to go do that. So that also is up
After you watch Bollox.
after you watch Bollox. Yes, yes, yes. Bollox is going to be amazing. We'll do the lead in for that a little bit later.
Yep.
I was going to do this story as a question, but I felt like this is one of the best stories that had come across all week long.
And he's looking at me.
So I'm looking at all of us in this room. The headline: attractive people may live longer, study says. We're all toast. We're all done.
I think I'm quite handsome.
And my wife thinks I am, so, you know, our poor judgment may keep me alive.
Her eyes aren't that good. No, I think we're all attractive people in this room.
It says researchers suggest that being considered pretty or handsome may offer specific social advantages that lead to a longer, healthier life.
Emotionally, it definitely helps.
And certainly social advantages without hesitation.
Oh,
You know,
yeah.
if you're good looking, you get to the front of the line and people treat you with deference.
Yeah.
As the good-looking person in the room, Amanda, how can you tell us non-good-looking people to extend our lives?
I must not be good looking because my health has been in the toilet for the past 4 years. So I must be trash.
You have to remember, it's better to look good than to
Than
feel
to
good.
feel good.
Yeah, that's right.
And you,
Okay, Mom.
And you look marvelous.
There
so
it is.
no, I can see that. I mean, because you're going to walk with self-confidence, and probably I can see that being a thing.
It says
And
exercise.
I'm not good looking, but I think I am, and that's all that matters.
Pretty much. Yeah.
That's why I'm going to live
Well,
to be
that's-
100.
Absolutely.
There is a
Well, that's
constant
spite.
universal with that when guys look in a mirror versus women looking in a mirror, right? Guys look in a mirror and they go, I look pretty good.
Yeah.
Women look in the mirror and go, oh my gosh, I see this. We're walking out of there like, we're like, yeah, I look pretty good today. It could be the worst we've ever looked in a mirror, but we're still walking out thinking we look good.
I can tell you this: when I look in the mirror and I don't look good, it's the mirror's fault.
Am I true or not true about this?
That's legit. I mean, there's that classic joke from the 90s that men have different mirrors because their mirrors are like funhouse mirrors that make them look and feel amazing, whereas women are funhouse mirrors that make us look short, fat, and ugly.
Yes.
I've never seen that mirror
No,
I never have either.
No.
I never have
because
either.
I feel when I look in the mirror, I was like, I'm a solid 6, but once I start talking, I get to be a 4.5.
I don't think that's true. I think that's the opposite with you. I think you're a solid 4.5. But when you talk to people, you become a 6.
become a 6?
Yes. I think you talk your way into better attractiveness. That's just my opinion of Troy Blevins.
If you walk with confidence and make them laugh, that's all you need.
That's it.
Pretty much.
I thought it was you buying drinks for everybody.
Well,
Is
that's
that
the
not it?
confidence part. And Lenny will attest, I rarely buy a drink.
Exactly.
No, you always have the gift cards, and you
Yeah.
cover it with the gift cards.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you're
Yeah.
not buying it, but it's still
Someone
getting
else
covered.
gave it to me.
Tuesday there was Mercy cocktails, and I took care of one to
Oh
make
yeah,
sure.
I needed a drink
I
Tuesday.
took care of you on Tuesday for sure.
Yeah.
So
and
this-
then Captain Jack came in.
Oh, that was the end of you.
That was a shot at the end. That
It was not
was
fun
this
driving
Tuesday
him back
for you?
home.
Tuesday's trivia night.
Oh,
Yeah.
way to go, Captain Jack.
Yeah, Captain Jack came in at the end of the show.
All right.
Said, let's do a shot.
It says here, for example, some researchers suggest that married people may manage their blood sugar more effectively than unattractive folks.
Married people?
Yes.
So only married people are handsome?
I'm just reading the story. That's all I'm doing is reading the story. I'm not insulting you. I'm not bringing up
As I'm
anything.
drinking so much sugar right now. Okay.
I'm just glad this didn't turn into a trivia question because I don't know where you would have gone with that.
There's the
Married
trivia
people-
I
part's
feel
coming
like
up.
they're conflating a lot of different things.
There is. So the study involved 8,400 participants from Wisconsin.
With
Longitudinal study.
Isn't
which-
that the state that drinks the
Oh,
best?
the
yes.
state that drinks the very
Yes.
most.
Certainly most
Yeah.
beer, I would
Not even close.
And
So,
It's
like, beer goggles, do they affect this study?
It's like
and-
Wisconsin, Minnesota.
Yes, and
Minnesota.
more people spend more time in the dark up there than any place else probably in the continental
Yeah.
United States, right?
They don't know what pretty is.
They don't know what pretty is. It followed
Maybe they're
male.
going by feel.
Are you Florida pretty or are you Wisconsin pretty? Because in Wisconsin, I'm a solid 8.
And a half.
Only when I talk.
Only when you talk at an 8.5. The study involved male and female high school graduates from 1957 throughout their lifetime. This is such a anyway.
It's weird.
Well, Lenny, you graduated in 57, didn't you?
I was born in 58. So I've always been ahead of my time, but not that far.
He graduated the womb.
Right, exactly.
Early learner.
Here,
I really hope I got to you guys early enough for everyone to see that.
Oh.
Yep, I did.
I was hoping you didn't.
here's the part that makes the whole study get thrown into question. The team had independent judges rate the participants' attractiveness on an 11-point scale using high school yearbook photos. How many of you would have been registered as dead in a high school yearbook photo?
Stop this.
Mike, I've seen pictures of you in high school.
Yes.
I was better looking than you in high school. About 4 years after you passed me,
Yes.
and I've never caught up since then.
Yes.
But if we can find a high school picture of you and me, that's the last time I
man.
was better looking than you.
I was never
If
good looking
anyone
in high
has
school.
those pictures, send them to MikeDavisShow@gmail.com.
I have them. I'll bring them in if Troy brings his
I'll
in.
try and find one.
Yeah, I have some. I'll bring them in. I got no shame in looking ugly.
Yeah.
I have no. I've been doing podcasting for forever. I mean, yesterday I was the Orange Man. I got no shame.
I have to make the thumbnails. Do you think I enjoyed that process?
Oh, yesterday was bad. So
I
anyway,
took side camera shots so we wouldn't have the orange thumbnail situation.
oh man, Marty Martin. I love Marty Martin. Marty call.
Lawrence.
Marty
We'll call
Martian?
Marty. Yep. Let's see. So the team, they accounted for factors that can influence life expectancy, such as family background, physical health, and income. After comparing the attractiveness ratings to the Wisconsin longitudinal study data, the scientists found that people who scored the lowest 1/6 of the attractiveness scale have nearly a 17% higher mortality risk than individuals with average looks.
Okay.
Weird.
I blame all of this on Wisconsin and absolutely none of it on attractiveness.
It's the cheese.
Lenny's
okay?
dying over here.
Yes.
He's getting less attractive.
I thought I was better looking than that.
You just went down.
I mean, when you think of like the hot kids in high school, all the hot kids in my high school were binge drinking and like skipping school and doing drugs because they could get away with it because they were all the kids of teachers and
sitting right
admin.
here.
I know, right? You're a little older than me, so you weren't at my high school.
Well, guess who else was?
Awkward.
Well, guess who else was at your high
It's weird
school?
if you make it weird. That's weird.
How many years did you spend in the Pensacola high school system? Just asking.
It wasn't that. It was
You told me it was a graduate program for Flagler College. How was I supposed to know?
toughest 4 years of my life was 4th grade.
Or is not your lucky number.
No. Any comments, Blake? You've been rather quiet through this entire segment.
And he's trimmed up. He's looking more handsome
You look
today.
good.
Do I?
Yeah, you look more handsome today.
Yeah, thank you, Dad. You're supposed to be very nice to me. Thank you. I really appreciate it.
You need a little Stuart
that was
Smalley.
nice. I
You
thought
need
it
to
was
look in the
too.
mirror.
It's only weird when he makes it weird.
I'm good enough. I'm smart enough. And Dad got it. People like me.
Atta boy, Stuart Smalley. I love Stuart Smalley.
Blake B. I'll hold the last name for anonymity.
You did good, man. That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right, so other news. We have elections locally next week. My mailbox is completely exhausted. My mailbox needs a break. I'm up to, poor Amanda's got the count on how many mailers we've got. She's got them all cataloged, written out, figured out who's got negative mail and positive mail and all this other stuff. But if you took the money spent on mailers that have hit my mailbox, you could solve a lot of problems in St. John's County.
Yeah. I mean, we could fund another homeless center.
Yes, we could. Easily. 100%.
Yeah, but also though, but I am kind of happy that I'm registered as a Democrat because at least hold on because at least we won't be getting double as much mail.
That's true. Living in the same household.
I just feel like people love me more.
You got three?
Three. And one of them was for a plumbing service. Seriously, 2 school board and a plumbing service.
Wow.
Yeah.
Was the plumbing service an official mailer for someone running for office? I'm just curious what they were offering.
No, that's the one that I kept.
Okay.
Yeah, and when he says plumbing service, it was from his urologist.
Okay.
Yeah, so just
Yeah.
too much TMI. I'm sorry.
No.
Sorry.
It took me a while to find one. I was very happy.
Roto-rooter.
Clean them pipes.
These pipes are clean.
Use some Drano.
So are you guys looking forward to it all being over on Tuesday?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I am too.
Yeah.
I feel like every political cycle seems to ratchet up intensity a little bit more and a little bit more. And in some of this stuff, I mean, there's not, in this case, you have some pretty clear differences between different groups that are running. And I would never advise people to run as groups. And I'm going to talk about this on Monday when we kind of do our political analysis. I would always encourage you to run as yourself. But this is kind of turned into two groups. And I don't know that that's the best way to run a campaign. I think you always ought to run as yourself. The sheriff's races obviously are run by itself pretty much. The House races, you don't have those. They're not ganging up in different groups because you're running in different precincts. But in the countywide stuff, it's been very interesting to watch that.
Yeah, the house races are kind of unique because, I mean, the county's split up
Mm-hmm.
in almost like 4 different areas.
Right.
Yes.
So, I mean, it's so fragmented. It's not as volatile here. I wonder if it's worse, like, in Flagler County where it's all the county is one house race. I'm just wondering if that's a factor or not.
Well, for me, people will ask me about the Kendall Primrose race. I go, I got no idea.
Yeah.
I don't get a single mailer. I don't get a single ad. I'm not in that district. I'm sure both of them are working their tail off, but they're not knocking on our doors because we don't vote for them. And I haven't seen Boyer or Greco because they're down in Flagler. They should be campaigning in Flagler County where the majority of the votes are.
Yeah, I never saw Greco. I did see Kendall and Primrose. They came to the office, and I met Greco, but I never saw Boyer. I don't know if he's made his way up here.
I had lunch with Boyer one day. I did have lunch with him one day.
Okay.
So it was really nice.
I've never met him.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
I had lunch with Sam.
He said, "Is it safe to leave? Is Troy coming in?" I said, "It's safe to leave."
Yeah,
He's not.
yeah, don't want to get attached with that.
Don't
liberal.
get a picture with that guy.
With that
Yes.
Jeez.
No, so I'm very much looking forward to it being over.
Yeah.
I did hear some comments last week about so somebody came up to me and said, "Well, so and so said Vicky Oakes does a horrible job." And I looked at that person.
That's bad information.
I looked at that person
disagree.
and I said, "That's bullshit."
Yeah, that's
I said, "I
bad
want you to know
information.
that's bullshit because Vicky's been on the show multiple times. She explains the process. She's done a very good job over the years of running it. I've been voting in this county my entire life, and she does an absolutely amazing job. And so I squashed that one as quickly as I
Whoever
could.
told him that they should never listen to that person for
Yeah.
advice again.
Yes.
So Vicky is she cares about what she's doing, and every election day I'm rooting for her, like not to have some silly hiccup mechanically or something along those lines because it could happen to anybody.
Yes.
And
Well, she had that one precinct last time that wouldn't report.
yeah.
And there was one precinct that just it had a malfunction. They had to bring it all the way back and download it.
Yeah.
So she did have that. But no, I think they've always run a very good. It doesn't matter how many people are there. They run a great campaign. Staff is always good. I'm going to go vote on election day. My wife went and voted today. The funny thing I do all these shows of all these political people on and talk. Every cycle, Darcy looks at me and she says, "I'm doing my own research. I don't need any information from you until I've done my research, and then I'm going to tell you who I'm voting for. And then if you have something to say, you can say it." I'm like, "Yes, dear."
That's best.
I said, "Yes." But she does. It's really good. It's interesting once she does the research because she goes online and she looks at their website. She looks at stuff that's out there. And so she's getting information that's available. And it's always curious to me what conclusion she's going to come to based on that information. So, and her votes are her votes. And she's, And
you nailed it earlier, and I said it earlier in the week with the incumbents all being together. They're 3 different personalities, and they're lumping themselves all together, and they're almost, small town politics is about the enemies you collect. So now what they've done is, if this person's collected an enemy, it's become an enemy of the other 2 also. And I thought it was a bad strategy. I hope. It doesn't hurt them with that strategy, and people do their own research and find out what's best for your family. But it goes for the other side too. They're the 2. I mean, the other 2 have signs together also.
yeah.
So.
Yeah, I agree because I've been processing all of these mailers, going through and seeing who's partnered up and who's attacking the other faction. And honestly, the people that are getting partnered up, it is coloring my impression of the people that they're partnered with. If I know that this dude's a bad guy, then you're coalesced or you're aligned with that person, then that's affecting me. And I think what I'm seeing a lot online, because I see a lot of online ads and a lot of online discussion, is that the surrogates of candidates are really turning people off. They're being horrible to people online.
The trolls are awful.
Yeah.
The
And
trolls are awful.
it's for every candidate I'm seeing trolls.
We had that, and this is not a comment on Jim Priester or on Rob Hardwick. But when Priester was on, the comments were just our normal, regular viewers. When Rob was on, some of Priester's supporters began firing questions, right? And having not been on this venue or watched this show, like, that's not what this show does. So it's very, very different. And you don't understand. We have viewers that watch the show live. We have viewers that watch the show later. They can see all those comments. And if they view you as being negative, they can attach that to the person you're trying to support, right? And so I would, caution you as to how you frame your questions. And it might be a legitimate question. There's ways to ask that politely, and there's ways to ask that are not so polite. And you might do more damage to your candidate than you're going to pick up support for that.
Well, and Mike, you and I have been around a long time, and when I see some of the trolls that were out there, I know them personally. And it's like, oh, come on.
Yes.
You're better than that.
Yes.
You're just better than that. And that's kind of was my feeling. It's like, kind of control some of those emotions. I understand you have a different opinion, but when you put it in writing, because it's not like having a conversation.
Yeah.
When you put it in writing, it's hard and there's no emotion attached to it, and you can't validate it in one sentence. And that's the reason there's more negative ads than there are positive ads, because to be positive, it takes longer to explain it. When it's negative, you can throw it out in one sentence and people are like, oh, because they're headline readers.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, and
Short attention span theater.
I'm a person that's
Guilty as charged.
I'm a person who's a headline reader.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if the headline doesn't interest me, I'm not reading it. If it interests me, I'll follow through.
And so the other big topic this time is growth, right? So I have a kind of a mixed opinion on this. I think if you've been here 30 years, you have a reason to kind of be upset about growth. If you've been here 10 years, if you've been here 5 years, shut your pie hole. Because those of us that have been here longer are dealing with you being here. We welcomed you here. We didn't tell you couldn't live here. We didn't,
Somebody come in and close the door.
Had local people
Pull
said,
that
you
up
know
and back
what,
at me.
we're not going to approve another subdivision in St. Johns County. The price of existing homes in St. Johns County would be 3 times higher than it is now. And every one of us would be moving out. None of our kids would be living here. We'd all have to go somewhere else. Now, we'd be taking a bag of money with us, right? Because it would be a very exclusive area.
Well, that's what they're doing out of New Jersey and New York.
Yeah.
They're taking a
Taking
bag of money
with them.
And bringing it here.
and bringing it here.
Yeah.
And even with that, they're an $800,000 house up there's, $1.5 million house here.
A very lovely lady that was on a charity board with me. She moved here in the mid-'90s. Around 2004-05, we were going through a growth period, right? And she looked at me, she said, it's just not the town I moved to 10 years ago. It's just too crowded. And she said, when did it become too crowded for you? And I said, Wendy, no offense, the day after you and your husband moved here. That was it. That was the breaking point. And she looked at me and just laughed. And I said, you have to understand, I'm glad you're here. You're actively involved in the community. You're serving on this charity board. I love spending time with you. But we have to welcome people to the community, right? This is America. You can't tell people, no, you can't move there. It doesn't work that way.
And I love all the campaigns that are out there that are just like, I'm going to stop growth. I'm going to stop this. 80% of the stuff that the board's dealing with right now was already in the pipeline. Right. You cannot infringe on property rights like that. And what happens is these people get in there and then they say, I'm going to do this, and they go to do that. And then guess what? They get sued. The county loses. We lose millions of dollars, and we still end up with the same exact amount of houses, but with less money in our coffers.
I just got a chance to make $1,450. Okay. So Davey wants me to build him a Barbie castle. I think Barbie castles cost about $50. I'm going to run to Walmart. I'm going to build one, put it on Volano, and ask him where my $1,500 is. Move in, Davey. It's right here on the beach.
Move on in.
Watch out for high tide.
There's
brother.
already a castle there.
Yeah,
you just gotta.
right.
You just gotta make.
He
a little,
said Barbie castle.
You're not
He
getting it
said
from
Barbie
that, dude.
castle.
Painted.
I've talked to that dude.
Put a pink bow on the top. You're
Yes,
good.
I'm good. I'm good to go.
I've talked to that dude. He's never selling that thing.
It's
At
a
least
cool
you
space.
can do. The least you can do is get one of the playhouses,
That's
so
what I was
you can
gonna
get
do.
inside.
Oh, the playhouses? They're more
Yeah,
expensive, though.
that's going to be at least
still gonna have to
150.
Maybe Maeve will share with you.
He will, of
He'll still have the
course,
Hans
for
board down.
sure.
Yeah.
I have to
You'd have to dormer it out for him to be able to stand up in it.
Yeah.
Oh,
There's not a Barbie
gosh.
house made in the world that Davey can stand in. No, but I mean, as far as a lot of these, we're anti-growth, and yeah, I mean, we all love St. Augustine for what it is, but there's certain things. Do you want your property rights infringed upon? And that's, I mean, and I get accused of being that evil developer, even by you.
It's so much fun to call you that. I gotta tell you, that's one of the joys in my life.
But I mean, it's true. I mean, would you rather give up your property rights?
No.
I mean, and that's where people, it's only if you put it on them do they understand the argument.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to tell you what to do with your house now.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
See how they like it.
I was kind of watching. I was just, I wanted to see the arguments on both sides from the supporters. And one of the Anns was in the comments making her case as well on a post on Facebook today. And they just kept saying, we're going to slow growth. We're going to slow growth. Well, they were saying that we're going to stop growth. And then people were like, yeah. So they finally changed it to slow growth. So we're going to slow growth. If you want slow growth, then vote for the Anns. And I'm like, what are they going to do? Confiscate land?
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's zero chance that they can stop growth without straight up like making it illegal to build. Like, there's no way.
Yeah. No, and I mean, and that's just being naive.
Yeah.
And what's the thing where you go to college and basically when you go to work, you learn more in the first 3 months than you did in the 4 years you were in college. And that's the same way with
Because
politics.
they won't let you drink during the day at work.
You need a new job.
Experiential learning.
You need a different job.
Yeah, really.
But I
Go in
mean,
the restaurant business, no problem.
yeah. But that's the same in politics.
Yeah.
You get in,
Right.
and then you go, "Hey, I'm going to do this, this, and this." And you go to the first seminar, and you go,
I can't do
"I
nothing.
can't do any of that because you're handcuffed."
Yep.
Well, there used to be a term that, comes back and forth from time to time called smart growth, which is dealing with infrastructure before you deal with expansion so that you can actually handle it in the communities that you're doing it in. And at least the groundwork is there. So when you do bring in 800 houses, there's your densities are developed so that they're either a little bit less dense or you can do them with mixed use. In urban settings, mixed use is great because you have commerce on the ground floor and residential upstairs. If you own that building, your tenant pays for your taxes in a lot of cases. So, and that's smart growth. But, the infrastructure around here is the key. There was room, there was a lot of space, and now it's all getting filled up, it seems. And a lot of it's getting clear cut, and that's the scary part. There used to be a forest, and now it's not.
Yeah.
And
Well, a lot of the reason the clear cutting this is the elevation of the property.
right.
So if you bring the property up a foot or 2 feet, which a lot of times what you have to do, we're building on lower and lower land in St. Johns County, the trees won't live. You can put all that dirt around them, they're going to die. So you clear cut them. I personally like a neighborhood with a lot of trees, right? There are some neighborhoods that do a good job with tree planting and there's some that don't. But there's some neighborhoods that, like Marsh Creek has never had a ton of trees in that neighborhood. You go out to Prairie Creek. Right, Prairie Creek's got huge lots,
It has some undulation
and a
in it.
bunch of undulation
It
to
doesn't
it.
look
It's
like
on the-
Florida.
Right.
No, it doesn't look like Florida at all. They're 1 acre plus lots. The trees are phenomenal back there. But if you built Prairie Creek today, the density would probably be 3 or 4 times what it is right now, and you wouldn't have hardly any of those trees because the houses
To
would
recover the cost of construction.
Yes.
And if I'm not running for any office or anything like that, but I can tell you if I was in the county campaign and neither side has talked about this, I would talk about the balance of commercial against residential because we should be closer to 25-75 and we're at 87-13.
I don't
With
even think it's
commercial.
that good. I think it's 90-10.
Yeah. So I mean, I know it's awful, but the reason commercial is so important is you don't have kids going to school. You're paying even higher taxes. You're paying into employment taxes. You're doing all of these things that balances out your community. And none of the candidates are talking about that balance, which makes zero sense to me.
Yes.
You know,
The
figure out.
last guy that talked about that,
Mhm.
it was the county commissioner, went to jail.
Yeah. Yeah, I helped he move the day
I know
before.
you did.
I was carrying the couch the day before. The day before he got arrested.
It was too funty.
But I mean, I don't understand why no one's talking. Have you guys heard any of the candidates talk about that?
No, and it's almost like growth, no growth. Lenny had a smart growth,
yeah.
right? Yeah, I mean, we should have roads in place, right? And I think the county's done a better and better job as time has moved on of making developers do these things. People don't understand if somebody thinks we as builders, and I don't do production housing. We do commercial work, we do historic renovations, we do custom homes, right? We do a limited thing compared to what people are complaining about. If somebody thinks it's easy to pull a permit, you can call me and I'll drag you through the permitting process.
It's so,
But go ahead and put about 40 or 80 hours aside to get that done. And we have a very efficient permit process here, but it still takes a long time.
yeah, just signing up for the portal at the cities, takes hours.
Yes.
So
Yes.
no, but I'm just confused by some of the campaigns that are being run because I don't understand where they're throwing the money at. And it's almost like, okay, it's cheaper to go negative than to actually tell your story.
Yes.
So
I agree. And I also agree the northern part of the county is much more populated now. I mean, I can remember driving through the northern part of the county. I could have stopped in the middle of the road, had lunch, and nobody would have honked at me. I mean, there was no one up there. And now it's incredible how many people are there. It's a lot of subdivisions, but a lot of that is people that were living in Jacksonville. Those people wanted an opportunity to live in St. Johns County, have their kids go to the St. Johns County schools. The northern part of the county has all the new schools, all the new parks, and all the new roads. If you live in the southern part of the county, I can't remember the last time we had a new road in the southern part of the county. We haven't had a new park.
his road got paved finally.
No, I mean a new, brand new road.
Well, the 13 connector that goes from 312 to 312 to Holmes Road.
Yeah.
So that's a half a mile.
Yeah, half a mile of road. Treaty Park was the last park built on the southern end of the county in 1992. And we've not had a new school probably since Pedro Menendez High School. So I get this, but as residents of the southern part of the county, hey, you guys have gotten all the money spent on you in the northern part of the county, and y'all are the ones
But
complaining.
here's the thing, and for some reason, candidates will call and ask us like, "Hey, what do you think?" And the best advice I can give them if they're a county person is get the soccer moms. And the biggest the biggest athletic association in the state is Creeks Athletic Association.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we're talking almost 50,000 people in one organization. There's no bigger voter block than if you get them on your side. So I not all of them vote, but I mean, soccer moms still win it. So.
Okay.
Although I can straight up tell you in those comment section that Harley Davidson woman, I don't even remember her name. She was in
Harley Davidson.
Heather Harley Davidson was in the comment section and she was saying, vote for women all down the ticket. And I'm like, if you're talking body parts, you've lost my vote.
Yeah.
Talk to me about ideas. What are your plans? I don't give a hoot what your body parts are. Talk to me about ideas. I'm not voting for you if you talk about body parts.
Yeah. So, no, I mean, and that's part of the
Soccer mom
being
thing.
being naive to the process. It's almost like saying, well, women, you aren't smart enough to do your own research, so just vote for women.
Yeah.
That makes no sense.
No.
That makes absolutely no sense.
All right. What makes no sense is trivia on Thursday.
Yeah.
Well,
Finally.
one thing, according to what Mike has gotten in his mailbox, 76 of the mailers are positive and 51 are negative.
Oh, okay.
Still.
It's not a
Not a good-
great
Doesn't
percentage,
feel like
but
that.
positive does outweigh the negative.
Okay.
Excellent.
But as far as your respite coming after early voting ends, take a good deep breath, because then all it's going to do is just shrink down
Presidential.
the national and the statewide and the local, and it's just going to be slamming back and forth as well.
Lenny, every time I get a Trump mailer and a letter, I feel like I'm just closer to him. I just love every one of them, Lenny.
Hand signed, right?
He frames
You
them.
framed them.
They're
Exactly.
all framed.
On the
I have an
wall.
entire room full of the
Okay.
Trump
I
paraphernalia.
will say I didn't expect to have to add a column on the mail flyers for birthday cards, but you received birthday cards.
I did
from
receive
candidates.
birthday cards from several of the candidates.
Nice.
I'm a little upset because
My cards were lost in the mail.
Rick Scott,
Yes.
his last campaign, He invited me to everything.
Yes.
And he made phone calls and it's like I don't even exist anymore. So
You never
hurtful.
call, you never write.
It's hurtful, Baltimore.
Yes.
John Rutherford still stays in direct communication with me.
Rutherford. Yeah.
Yeah.
So he promised to
Man,
pardon you
now I
yet?
can't vote
No,
for him.
but but I love the way he's having all this environmental stuff that he's voted against in Congress.
Yeah.
That's oh, it's great, but you didn't vote for it, sir.
That's kind of like when you're the vote that forces taxation on tips and then comes out and says, we're going to untax tips.
Yeah.
That has definitely happened.
Hey,
I love giving Blake
you
the
gotta
look.
do, hey, you got to do what you got to do to get that vote right.
Yes. All right.
Why?
Lenny's not winning this week. I'm ready. I've been,
All right, here we go.
My
Get
phone's
that in the
turned
ballot
over,
vote.
so I don't get shiny.
I've been studying. I'm ready.
Okay, hold on. Let me just do
Come
this.
on.
I'm
sold-
going for back to back.
You know, Davey, that's not impressive. The ones Bill gave away is much more impressive.
Oh, no.
I wanted to look at what's he saying?
Oh God! No, you don't.
Wow.
Yeah, I went there.
No, you don't.
ZZ Top
You know,
song.
That's
That's way worse than anything I've said today.
Yes, I went
Okay,
there. Okay. All right. You've got a video that you have to pull up after you answer this question.
All right.
In San Francisco,
Okay.
people are being woken up early in the morning, 4 and 5 a.m. What is waking them up at 4 and 5 a.m. every single morning? What is waking them up?
In San Francisco?
In San Francisco.
Blake
And
knows the answer to
It
this.
is
I know he
not
does.
human. It is not human beings.
I wish Blake was going
It
first.
is not human
Can
beings.
we make Blake go first?
No.
No. Blake's been smoked the last couple weeks. Yeah, Blake's over there not even trying. He feels like it's written across his forehead. He
No,
won't even
so
look at you
he's
guys.
doing that because we ragged on him so much for looking at the stories because you hold the stories like that and then he can read them.
He can't read this. I wrote it very poorly. I almost didn't read it.
What are they being woken up by
Yes,
in San
at
Francisco?
4 in the morning.
I'm going to say sea lions.
Blake, there's answers on there.
I know.
There's answers on there as you're looking.
So actually, I unfortunately replied to Davey's comment about the.
That was your second mistake.
It
So
was.
she's saying sea lions.
saying-
Yeah, I'm
Sea lions.
going with walrus and sea lion. Yeah.
See, and I think that's a great answer.
Mhm.
But when I was in, you ever been to Asia, Mike?
I've never been to Asia, Troy.
When I was in Hong Kong at like 4 and 5 in the morning, like the really, really high end cars
Yeah.
are racing through town,
Okay.
and they would wake you up. And I don't.
All the
But I-
Hondas with the
but
aftermarket.
I was locked in on that, but I think sea lions is actually a better answer, so I'm staying with sea lions.
I'm gonna say car alarms.
Car alarms. I don't think people set those anymore, do they?
It's,
think they have control
it's
to set them.
not car alarms.
Okay, now I have
Blake
to
is
pull up
the
a video.
closest.
Uh-huh.
Waymo apparently is a self-driving automated taxi company. And the cars all roll into a parking lot at the same time in the morning to park and wait to pick up people for rideshare later in the day. When they roll in the parking lot, they're trying to park. Other Waymo's cars with nobody in them are already parked there. As they back up, the backup sensors think it's somebody walking behind them and start honking their horns. If it gets too close to the car in front of
Are
them,
these self-driving
the
cars?
self-driving car
Yeah, the
beeps
self-driving
at the
cars.
other self-driving car to tell it not to hit it because they think that they're human beings. So the cars are, and it's just
They're
a
getting-
picture of this huge parking lot of cars,
But
all
So
backing in and beeping in at
Even
one
with
another.
self-driving cars, there's road rage.
Yes.
Hold on. Do you want the audience to watch this?
Sure, roll it.
Okay.
And Andy got a point
Roll
because he
that-
said self-driving
Roll
cars.
that beam footage.
Oh,
Yes.
stupid ad.
Oh, did you pick up an ad for me?
Yeah, I did that
Okay,
on
here we go.
purpose.
This is the self-driving
Gucci.
cars pulling in the parking lot, beeping. Can you imagine living near that parking lot and the entire time it's just honking at you?
This looks like that video game where you move a car to get
Frogger?
a car out.
Yes.
No, not Frogger. There's like you can move a bus and then it's blocking and you know.
Oh, yeah, okay.
I've only seen it advertised.
Like the iPhone app.
Yeah. All right. So none of us got that.
None of you got
That's
that.
going to change some
But,
zoning issues.
but I was locked in on racing at night, and I was like, okay,
You
sea
would have been
lions,
close. Closer.
Yeah, but in San Francisco, they're going to get air at the top of every hill.
Yeah, what is it, Knob Hill or whatever it's called?
Yeah, see, Streets of San Francisco, man, they bottomed out more cars on that TV show.
Yes, they did. All right, Lenny, who is
Michael.
the most popular, least popular governors So it's a study done. They rank governors by their popularity within their state. Tim Walz, governor of Minnesota, was selected. Out of the 50 states, where does Tim Walz rank?
8th.
Popularity. You've got him in 8th.
Most popular?
Yes.
Yeah.
8th most popular.
I'll have him at 38.
I'm gonna have him at 23.
I think that I'm going to go 39.
Had you gone to 37, you would have had it.
All right.
He was 36th.
Okay.
36th most popular. Right, Troy Blevins. You
I'm on the board. I'm on the board.
You're on the board. You're on the board. You do not need to name the governor because it would be impossible. But what state has the most popular governor with a 70% approval rating, which is unheard of in politics today?
What state?
What state?
I think I'm going to go with. I think I'm going to go where the Bakken's at. I'm going to Wyoming or South Dakota. I'm going to go South Dakota.
Blake?
Dang it, it's Florida.
It hurt you to say that, didn't it? It just hurt you.
I want it to be Florida.
Yes.
Bobby, Utah's not the answer because Pete is not playing. If Pete was playing it 100%.
That's somewhere in the Midwest, right?
Yeah, somewhere in the Midwest, yes.
I don't think it's Texas. I want it to be Florida just to annoy Blake. I'm going to say Florida.
Phil Scott. Oh, go ahead.
You didn't answer.
I was going to say New Hampshire because I can't say Florida.
Okay. You would have been the closest. Phil Scott of Vermont.
Vermont.
Phil Scott of Vermont. He's a Republican in Vermont. 70%
How?
approval
I can tell you
rate.
this. Have you ever been to Vermont? It's near Asia.
It's
They're the
Asia.
nicest human
You
beings.
just have to turn right past
No, they're
Utah.
the nicest human beings in the world. So no matter who's governor, they're not going to say anything bad about them.
Mm-hmm.
It's all that maple sugar.
Yeah, they're so sweet there.
They're all high on.
They're so sweet. He might not even be doing a good job, but they're like, I don't want to say anything negative.
They're all high on Ben and Jerry's.
They're the Canadians of the United
Yeah,
States.
they're 100% the
Exactly
Canadians.
right.
They're 100% the Canadians of the U.S.
Jason.
All right.
All right, Blake's up. Okay, Blake.
Did it give a list on who?
Yeah, but it didn't give a full list. And I went to the website and tried to find the full list. And even on the website, it only gave a partial list.
Did it give the top 5?
It had Phil Scott from Vermont was number 1. Wes Moore of Maryland was number 2. Andy Bashir of Kentucky, number 3. Mark Gordon of Wyoming. Then it jumps down to Josh Shapiro, 16 of Pennsylvania. Tim Walz, 36 of Minnesota. Tate Reeves of Mississippi. Kim Reynolds, tied for 47th and tied for 50th.
Kathy Hochul.
Daniel McKee from Rhode Island and Tina Kotek of Oregon.
Okay.
Not popular.
Yeah.
There you go.
Rhode Island. It's like this big.
And I went Wyoming,
think-
South Dakota because the Bakken is financially doing so good,
Mm-hmm.
and
But
it's
that the
it's
oil
easy.
sands?
Yeah, it's where the oil's at. So.
Yep. All right.
I mean, you would think that Josh Shapiro and Tim Walz would
Are
be
you having
rated
fun in the
higher.
comments with
since-
Davey?
The way Walz keeps winning his elections, you would certainly think so.
Well, because those were the two big names mentioned with Kamala Harris's campaign and who she was looking for. So you would think they'd be ranked higher. Josh Shapiro is way higher than Tim Walz. Way to go, Kamala.
Yes. Okay.
It's Amanda.
I thought Blake was up.
He lived with Florida.
Did you leave with Florida?
Wait, I did?
Yeah.
Okay. Kamala Harris is starting doing.
Oh wait, no, I
is
started
Blake.
with South
Yeah.
Dakota.
Yeah.
So,
Yes.
yeah, it's him. Sorry.
So Kamala Harris has started
Okay,
campaign
your previous-
campaign stops.
Mhm.
You can go to her campaign. To be able to get a ticket to Kamala Harris's event, what do you have to produce?
A vaccination card.
An ID.
Social Security number.
Legal ID.
Troy and Amanda are correct. You have to produce an ID. You do not have to produce an ID to vote, according to some Democrats, but to get to her event, to go see her speak, you
She
have to
is
produce
so
a driver's
racist.
license.
I was told
In St. John's County,
requiring driver's licenses is racist. How dare she disproportionately
been
affect
a library
minority communities?
Could be a library card.
I'll tell you who's crushing it today is Andy. Andy has got 3 right.
Well, you sent him the questions.
I talked to him about it at
And we
breakfast.
can't see the
I talked to him about him at breakfast. Okay, Lenny.
Is that part of those conversations happening at Moultrie Diner?
Wait,
I thought it was Amanda.
Amanda.
Amanda. Okay, Amanda. Last week, We had competition at the box office.
All right.
So Ryan Reynolds, Deadpool, was up against It Ends With Us
Yeah.
with the lovely, attractive Blake Lively, who happens to be Ryan Reynolds' wife.
Yep.
Who,
And Lady Pool.
Who won the box office ratings last weekend? Which family member,
it's
Blake
the
Lively or Ryan Reynolds? So
second or third week
It Ends
of
With
Deadpool.
Us. Yep, second.
and
It was the
first
third
week
week with
of
Deadpool, and
It
first
Ends
week
With
with
Us.
Ends With Us. Yes.
I think Deadpool won.
I'm going Deadpool.
I'm staying with Deadpool.
Wolverine.
It was 100% Deadpool.
Yeah.
This is crazy. 50 million for It Ends With Us, which is a really good opening for a romantic comedy.
These days. yeah.
Deadpool in week 3, $54 million.
And you said it did like 80
Either way,
the first
those
week.
kids are doing
No,
He's-
185 million the first week.
182, yeah,
Oh,
they're
no,
182.
Yeah, they're crushing it.
Yeah, because you
Absolutely.
said 82, and
Right.
you read it and
Right.
still missed it last week.
I said 128 because I went dyslexic. 128 instead of 182.
I know you
I
had
had-
burning some numbers.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely amazing that you could get that kind of revenue out of those two. But Ryan Reynolds is trolling his wife every single day over that.
They're laughing all the way to the bank.
Absolutely.
They troll each other on a daily basis
Yeah.
if you follow their Twitter.
Which is why I'll go to see it on
Yeah.
Tuesday at Epic Cinema for a mere $6.
$6.
All right, who's up next?
Me, I think.
You up next? Okay.
Yeah.
We're gonna hold on to that one. Okay, Lenny, what beloved St. Johns County restaurant is back of years of not being open? It's opening this week coming up. What beloved St. Johns County restaurant has finally reopened?
Well, the wharf isn't new or isn't old.
It was never beloved.
I guess.
Sorry.
Good point there.
Sorry, David. I'm sure it's completely different.
Well, I'm stumped on this one. I have no clue.
No clue is an answer.
And I will go with that.
Okay.
Famous restaurant, no clue.
Yes. Troy Blevins?
I mean, the only one I can think of
It's
is
been closed.
La Cucina, reopened at the top of the winery.
Okay.
Yeah, but they've been closed for 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It hasn't been closed for
Right,
years,
yeah.
but that's the only restaurant that I know the stories on.
Blake?
I'm gonna give Amanda the points, but because Dad, we used to frequent the spot on our boat, Outback Crab Shack.
Outback Crab Shack. Oh my gosh, I'm an idiot.
Yeah, Outback
I
Crab Shack. Now I knew the story, so I was
did.
sitting here like with a smile on my face because I know the answer to that because I've been reading the stories and the opening.
Here's the thing. I have a shirt from Outback, and I've been waiting for it to open. And I knew it. If I lose this game, it's
It's your own
on
fault.
me. It's on
That's
me.
right.
Right now, the guy winning is Andy. Andy's got 4. Amanda's got 3. Troy's got 3.
Well, you better
That's
get
it.
a restaurant question so he knows
Yeah,
all the competition.
All right, so Troy Blevins, this
Yes.
week, A.D. Davis got an email from a powerful, influential country that has said that we could become the commercial construction company for this country.
For the entire
It
country.
is not the United States. So which country wants to make A.D. Davis the commercial construction company of the year?
The company of the year?
Yes,
or the
of
company?
the year, the construction company of the year. We've never done work in this country, but they want to give us the award.
Mm.
I feel a scandal here.
Yes, well, if it's a scandal, then it's Mexico. But I think it's one of those things like where's the Nigerian prince? So I'm gonna go with Nigeria.
Nigeria?
I'm gonna go with Nigeria.
I'm gonna say Saudi Arabia.
I think it's Nigeria too because that's what all I can think of is Nigerian.
Now,
prince.
we corporately haven't done any work there, or have you done work there?
Neither one of us.
All right,
Neither one of
so then I'm
us.
taking El Salvador off the table. Damn it, I thought I was home free.
No.
And you know the country I would have loved to have said, but I went with the Nigerian prince.
Israel. You're going to rebuild Israel.
I love all of your answers. They're so much more creative than what this was.
Yeah.
A, they really wanted us, to be Canadian.
Canadian.
The Canadian Construction
You're like-
Company of the
You're
Year.
like, we're not going there. We're not going there for those taxes. Eh?
I love the answers in here. We had China, we had Nigeria, the Philippines, North Korea. North Korea made an appearance.
Reopen for tourism.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah, good luck with that.
Yeah, well.
I think it's Blake.
Blake?
Yeah.
All right, Blake, which late night host's audience laughed when he seriously said CNN is objective? The audience broke out in laughter. He was doing an interview with a CNN anchor, news person, and said, "Oh, well, your network is objective." And the audience laughed out loud at what was supposed to be a straight line. What late night host ran into that?
You guys are all going to get 3 points after this. Stephen Colbert.
Yeah, it's Stephen Colbert.
Fine. I'll pile on.
I'm going to go with Stephen Colbert.
Okay, every one of you picked up a point.
But it sounds like something Kimmel would say.
So it was unironic.
hold on.
He was like, it was the preface to another question. He's like, I know that you guys at CNN are like super unbiased and it's reporting just the facts. And everyone laughs and he starts to like, and she goes, was that supposed to be a laugh line? And he's like, it wasn't supposed to be, but evidently it is. And she was mad, dude.
I'm dripping with sarcasm anyways.
So mad.
Yeah, Caitlin Collins sucked anyway.
It's not good. All right, sticking with CNN question. Sticking with CNN question.
I wasn't saying that.
Warner Brothers owns CNN. Right, they're the parent company of Discovery, CNN, and TNT. Their stock has been cratering. They took a write down on CNN. Right? How much did they write? They took a write down. How much money did they write down as a loss on CNN? And I will help you guys. It's not in the millions.
I'm going to say 69 billion.
It was $1 billion.
I'm going to go $1.2 billion.
1.3 billion.
Might have been 10.
The actual answer, $9.1 billion.
I'll take it.
My answer had a 9 in it.
Hey.
which
And sounded way more fun.
yes. Which basically means that CNN is worthless. Which Colbert's audience told him.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's weird. Warner Brothers came up again today.
Hey, who's up first?
Who's on first?
Who's up first? What's on second?
Yeah.
And I don't know anything else.
Troy.
Are you up?
I think she started that one.
Yeah, I
you
said
Lenny.
you said 1 billion.
Lenny, it's you.
So it's you, Lenny.
Okay. What percentage of young men have voted as Republican in 2023? Young men. What percentage of young men voted as Republican in
Is it
2023?
under 25? Is that what
We're just going to say under 25. Yeah, I don't know that I have the back page of this. So yeah.
37%.
young men?
Yep.
So I can tell you this: I was still a Democrat at that age.
Yeah, but it's swinging.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you don't. What's the rule at 20? If you vote, if you don't vote Democrat, you don't have a heart, and at 40, if you don't vote Republican, you don't have a brain.
What about in mid 60s?
You're just filibustering for Andy to win. I'm just telling you.
I'm gonna go just below. I'm gonna go 36.
Okay.
I'm gonna say 30. Actually, I'm gonna go 35.
Pinched in the middle.
Amanda?
We've got 37, 36, and 35.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to say 38.
The actual answer is 49% last year. Young men are swinging heavily towards the Republicans. In 2013, the answer was 38%, 37%, 2015, 36%. So that number has increased about 13% since 2012.
You weren't asking about that year? You were asking this year.
Yeah,
I
this
see.
year. Yeah,
my
I hear
mistake.
you on that.
My
Yes.
error.
Yeah.
So right now, Amanda is, because you were is tied with Andy. Troy and Blake are tied with 4. Lenny, a 2. This is disappointing.
back.
This is
So
disappointing.
Amanda's at 5.
Yes, Amanda's at 5. All right, I'm going to give you a chance.
Big question
Gonna
right
give you a
here.
chance. These 7 sports are associated with living longer, according to researchers. So if you play these 7 sports, you will live longer.
Tennis.
I give points if you get any one of the 7.
Okay. I'm on the board. I know that. So, and if I'm not on the board, then that's a bad list.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna say pickleball.
I don't think that's been around long enough to be considered in the study.
Or
What?
or even call it a sport.
Which they better be careful at the lighthouse, because otherwise those tennis courts are going to become pickleball courts.
I'll say golf.
Oh, I was going to go golf.
Mm-hmm.
Jogging.
That was my other one.
Lenny picks up a point at number 6 with jogging. So it increases your lifespan. Well, that's going to be the next question. All right. So we're going to do that. It's calisthenics, jogging, swimming, cycling, soccer, badminton, tennis, Troy Blevins. For the tie, to throw you into the tie. Blake Blevins, if you play tennis, how many years longer will you live? And Andy, this is an important question for you because we got a 3-way tie right now.
How many
How many more years longer will you live if you
What
consistently
was
play
one and
tennis?
what was 7, or is it not in any order? Or you're not
Calisthenics
giving us
was number 7, tennis was number 1.
Okay,
You had
all
the
right.
number 1 answer.
All right.
You answered before I could say I'd give you 2 points for that answer, so you only got 1 point. You've just
you're
been
really crushing
patient.
yourself today.
You could have had the win.
that? All right.
How many more years
For tennis?
for tennis do you get to live if you play tennis on a regular basis?
16.9 years.
Okay.
I'm going to say 7.
I'm going 5.
I'm going to go 4 years and 364 days.
So you just want just under 5.
Yeah. 'Cause I think it's like 3.3 or something like that.
The actual answer, and vaulting a guess to the win for the first time in a long time, 9.7 years. Andy had 12.
9.7 years?
9.7 years longer. My mom lived 9.7 years longer because she played tennis.
9.7 years?
9.7 years. Calisthenics is 3.1. Jogging 3.2 if you don't get hit by a car. Swimming is 3.4 if you don't get eaten by a shark.
I said 7. I'm closer than Andy.
9.7. It's almost 3. It's 2.7 up to that,
Mm-hmm.
right?
What did he say?
He said 12.
He
I
said
thought you
12. 12 is closer. It's 2.3 down. You're 2.7 up.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Miss Second Place.
The point 7 gotcha.
The point 7 got you.
Point 7 gotcha.
Fractions. Are
Andy,
Vicky Oaks
congratulations.
would not make that mistake.
No, Vicky Oaks would not make
That's
that
why I
mistake.
don't have her job.
Listen, that was we had Lenny with 3,
Congratulations, man.
Amanda with 5, Troy with 5, Blake with 4, and Andy, our champion, with a solid
Congrats, Andy.
6.
In studio champ, we're giving it to
In
Amanda.
studio champ is Amanda. Yes, in studio Amanda.
It's been a while. And then I immediately obliterate all legitimacy by saying I was closer. You guys lost to that.
Yes.
Can't even compete with that.
All right, what do you got on Bollox tonight?
All right, on Bollox, we're doing third-party candidates, and we're going to go through some history stuff with that and go through a lot of different stuff. I mean, and I didn't go past when the Republican Party started in like 1854. Did you go deeper than that?
No, I didn't go past 19. I didn't go
Past 1912?
So you guys didn't do any research past when you were born?
Yeah.
Okay, just want to get that on the
We've
record.
been able to vote in every
Yes.
election that we're talking about tonight. So.
Pretty much. But there's an interesting concept of, Mr., if you give me a job, I'll endorse you.
Mhm.
So much for integrity in America.
Who's that?
RFK Jr.
Yeah.
He's offering his endorsement for a job in the administration.
But is it actually RFK Jr. or is it just his brainworm telling him to do that?
There you go.
It was the bear.
You know, that's really rude. You don't know how smart the brainworm is.
Somebody's got to be running that show because I don't know if it's him.
I got a comment. If only Joe had a
The
brain
bear.
worm. If only Joe had a brain worm.
Well, that's what I was wondering. What was he going to get from eating the roadkill bear?
Well, we might know why he has the brainworm.
That's what I was thinking.
Against the other two candidates, I think he's the only one with any type of brain.
Yeah, well,
Well, he's got
It might be a
two.
worm.
He's
Might be a
got
worm.
2.
So tune into Bollox.
Yes.
You guys catch that. Morning show tomorrow morning will be absolutely phenomenal and off the charts. Davey will be here. Troy will be here. Blake will be here. Right? Are you here on the morning show?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Ricky's here.
Yes.
And then that really cool Pete Melfi.
Melfi.
Melfi. Troy, Melfi, and you're here tomorrow.
Yes.
Everybody will be here.
Tony
We'll
Bel-
be back on
Tony
Monday.
Bellins will be in.
We got 2 political shows next week. We got our predictions on Monday. We have a regular show with Davey because Lord knows Davey doesn't want to do politics. And then we'll do a special show Tuesday night.
7
Pete
o'clock.
and Troy are coming in at 7. Amanda will be here
Pushing the buttons.
to push buttons, and we're going to read the results. I feel like Pappy Schilling when we do those things.
Yeah.
Al Brennan and Pappy Schilling.
I think the local
Red
races.
Light and Vicky.
Yeah, the local races are going to be interesting.
Very interesting.
And it's going to be, as they come in and where they're at. I think all the local races are going to be close.
Yes.
So.
All right. You guys have a great weekend. We'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.